Recently, I've been working to become a pro sim drifter, and about a month and a half ago, I competed in my first sim drifting competition. It was hosted by the ESCA, and I got knocked out of top 32. So looking for redemption, I signed up for another sim drifting competition, hosted by SVDS, but it may have been a mistake. So the track was dropped a few days before qualifying day, so we could have time to practice. So I downloaded it and started putting down a few laps. And I'm gonna be honest, my first few laps were shaky. It was a stadium track with a bunch of walls, and I've never been good at stadium tracks, and I genuinely don't know why. My problem on this track was my line coming from outer zone 1 into 2, then coming around into 3. And during this section of the track, I was either going way too wide or just over rotating. So I had to start making a few changes, mentally and physically, with the car, and I eventually started putting down some pretty good laps. And then I was like, okay, enough of this, I definitely need some chase practice. Because in all of my practices, I've been chasing myself and not real people. Then I found out the SVDS opened up practice servers with the new track and the SVDS cars. So I headed over there and joined that server. After finally getting into the lobby, I realized that this would be a good time to scout out the competition because everyone I talked to about SVDS said that some of the best drivers compete there. So I hopped into chase position and went for my first lap. And my first chase lap actually wasn't bad. Of course, it had some things to work on, like my line, proximity, and some transitions. But I kinda was going into the chase position half expecting to just hit the lead car. So I continued to practice exclusively in the chase, just going lap after lap, because I thought if I could get enough reps in, when it comes time to battle, I wouldn't have to overthink it, because overthinking is the #1 thing that leads to me making mistakes. It happened in my last competition, and I'm just trying to eliminate that factor. So I just kept putting laps down until I felt comfortable. I started putting down really clean laps, back to back to back. But going back to what I said about scouting out the competition, there were a lot of great drivers in this lobby. Everyone was putting down great leads, and I mean perfect, in my mind at least. And I went to the lead position a few times, and every time they were on my door, literally bullying me around the track. So this made me very nervous. Now it's 1 p.m. on qualifying day. So I hopped on my PC and joined the Discord call for the briefing. And during the briefing, they explained things like the line, where you should be braking, and just what the judges are looking for in general. Then they showed us the qualifying order, and the amount of drivers shocked me. There were 135 drivers, and I was number 116. So I knew I was gonna have to wait hours until it was my turn to qualify. At 5 p.m., hours after the briefing, it was finally my group's turn to qualify. So they put the server up for our qualifying group, and we joined it. Once we got into the server, I got in line and waited for my turn. And I apologize in advance. I was not thinking and didn't save the replay, so I did not get the third-person view. And now, we wait for our turn. Alright, the nerves are starting to hit me now. It's like last time. Really good drivers in here. Now it was my turn, so I went to the burnout box to warm up my tires. I had to get a mid-80. Get into top 32. I lined up and waited for the lights. I entered way too soon and didn't get wide enough to the wall, and my angle was very shaky through outer zone 1. Started left for braking to get outer zone 2 and the correct line for outer zone 3. Transition for outer zone 4 and just maintained a good line and angle along the wall into outer zone 5. Then transition for the final outer zone. This was a 78-point qualifying run. That was not good at all.
As we go along now, it's Darian Base. A little bit of support in the chat for him there earlier on as he gets 3 green lights to be sent down in that E36. Lights off them strong wheels nice and early. Flick initiates into outer zone 1. Starts to massage his way through that section along the wall, locking that front wheel, dragging the front wheel a long time there as he comes through outer zone 3. Starts to transition back now. Will settle that E36 for outer zone 4. Will he do it with no corrections? Let's see what happens here as he does manage to get it one fluid motion through that section as he transitions now again towards outer zone 6. Incredible stuff. I think them transitions are going to be the big factor tomorrow. And where people are making dives is going to be a very interesting tandem session as it's 78.3 for Darian right now, not inside top 32 action as he...
All right, I got a real lock in here. This time, I got the entry perfect and got right on the wall, and just really tried to stay stable throughout outer zone 1. Once again, started left foot braking to get outer zone 2, and then the perfect line for outer zone 3. And had a way smoother transition for outer zone 4, but coming onto the wall, I added a little too much angle. Then transitioned and made a huge mistake. No! Oh my God. That was terrible.
To action as he gets 3 green lights to go again. Down that start line chicane, lights off the rear wheels yet again, flicks that E36 towards outer zone 1, gets nice and deep into there. A few little wavers, but not too bad, nothing too big to worry about as he drags that front wheel of the E36 through outer zone 2 and 3. Transitions back now towards outer zone 4 and works his way up along the wall. A little bit of a waver, comes off the angle slightly as he comes through outer zone 5, and he tags the wall at outer zone 6. And that will be a 0. So unfortunately for Darian, that is all she wrote for the weekend. That will not be top 32 action for him.
So I didn't even qualify. And it may have come down to the nerves again, but I just need to put in more reps and get into more comps more frequently. So I'm gonna keep my eyes out for more comps and keep putting in work, because I really want to go pro and earn my license to compete in the Virtual Drift Championship with some of the best drivers ever. So like and subscribe and come back, because I want you along for the journey.